Hello everyone, this is Hank. I'm back. Today I'm going to talk about Canon EOS RP SCN sports mode. Okay, so first of all, what exactly is SCN mode? Special scene mode is a mode which is a bridge between the full automatic A plus toward the creative modes such as AVTV, FVM, okay, where the user got more control. So the SCN mode, um, it's full automatic, except that it still gives you a measure of control by specifying the type of shooting you would like to do. Okay, so to access the SCN mode, on the mode dial, you rotate it to the SCN mode. So right now, for example, I have it on A plus mode. So with the mode dial, I just kind of clicked it over to the SCN, press set, and I'll choose the appropriate mode. So today we are going to talk about the sports mode. So I'm going to scroll down to the sports mode, hit OK, and now I'm in sports mode. Okay, so sports mode has a few things that I will point out for you. Okay, first of all, let's mention this. Within the SCN mode, you have 12 submodes, and today we are going to talk about sports mode. Okay, and I think it pays to read the manual. But sometimes if we just start out and we read the manual and we understand the words, except that we don't really understand the context because the subject is new or something. So I would try to explain it, okay? If you already understand it, bear with me, because I have the real beginner in mind in this video. So, like it said, the sports mode is for shooting moving subjects. Okay, it doesn't have to be a sport, but as long as the subject is moving, then you should use this mode. Okay, so the sport mode is to shoot a moving subject, such as a running person or a moving vehicle. Okay, so now let's take a look at the shooting tips. So the first tip, it says that use a telephoto lens. So why is that? Well, because when you shoot sport, okay, normally you don't really have the access to get really close. So you normally far away, like you in a stadium, you in an arena, or you are at the beach or on the pier taking pictures of a surfing person. So you're pretty far away. And if you don't have the right lens, okay, the subject is going to be too small to look good. The rule of thumb is like the larger your subject is in your frame, the better pictures you're going to have. General rule. It doesn't always hold true, but most cases it's true. So you need a telephoto lens usually. Now the next two is very interesting, and it might be challenging for you, but if you don't get it, that's fine. But I think that it is useful to get it. Okay, so by default, the AF method is set to face plus tracking, even though it doesn't really tell you that on the display, as you can see. Okay, so here AF, the AF area, it's that area AF frame. That's all. But it actually using face plus tracking for that. Okay, so. And it said that when the subject is in focus, AF point turns blue. Okay, I just confirmed it turns blue instead of green, right? So you have either green or blue. Green is for one shot, AF. Blue is for servo. Now I have a separate video to talk about the fundamental difference between the two modes. I will try to leave a link. But basically, the blue mode, which is the servo mode, is best suited for moving subjects. Okay, And then this thing automatically switch to the high-speed continuous, which for the RP allows you to do up to 5 frames per second. Not very fast, but fast enough for most cases. Okay, so let me move to a simulated sport scenario. Okay, so in this picture, which I took few years back at the Huntington Beach, California surfing championship. And when you have a subject like this moving around, right, very rapidly, so the big square box is perfect for you to track the subject. Okay, so the key thing to establish good focus is like you got to keep that square box on the subject. You don't need to catch the entire subject, but as much of the subject in there as possible. So once you track that, you hold down the shutter button halfway and you see the blue, right? The blue means that you establish initial focus. The key thing here is don't let go. Key thing here is like hold on to it, keep pressing it down, and then as long as you keep it down and keep the subject within that square frame, square box, then it will continually track. See, you don't lose lock on it. So like subject moving back and forth, as long as you can keep that square box within there and keep holding down the shutter button, and then you just take a picture whenever, but you don't let go of the focus. Okay? And that is how silver works. It's really easy, really fast, and you can keep that person or subject in focus all the time by doing that. All right. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the setting. Even though this is fully automatic, but if you look at the way it behaves, then you can make a pretty good guess of what it's doing. So because it is designed for moving subject, the shutter speed there, you can see that it's set to 1/500 of a second. Now 1/500 of a second is pretty adequate for a running person or even a cyclist, but for surfing maybe a little bit too slow. What I would like to do with surfing, just for your info, you can switch to TV mode if you have to and set it to 1/1000. I think you have much better. If you have enough light, 1/2000 is even better. The faster the shutter speed, the sharper your image is going to be, because there's a lot of vibration, a lot of moving in this kind of shooting. So the faster shutter speed is going to be better. Now, this camera apparently set the aperture to the lowest possible, because I'm using a 50mm f1.8 lens here. It's using 1.8, which means wide open, right? It just go down to the lowest possible value. And it just adjusts ISO as needed. Okay, so that is basically what it's doing, and it bumps the shutter speed up and for moving. And it turns the focus into a big square box in servo mode to help you out, so it's easier for you to keep the subject in focus. Okay, with that, one more thing. Even though I don't really mention this thing in all of the SCN videos, but they all work the same. Now, this full automatic, in theory, you don't have any control, but you actually do have a little bit of a control. Okay, in terms of the exposure compensation on the upper right. Okay, so in order to access that, you just press the Q button, which is also the set button. Okay, and then you just move it to the right area. So as long as you move that to the right area, now if this picture is too dark, then you just go to the right and brighten it. Okay, so you do have exposure control. Vice versa, if this thing is too bright, and then you can just darken it. Okay, so you do have a measure of control, just for your info. Okay, that's it. I would like to thank you very much. I'll see you in another episode. If you haven't, please subscribe and give me a like. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye now.